How are you all? In this video, we will be studying about different methods of determining the rate of reaction. There are three methods for determining the rate of reaction. They are graphical method, initial rate method, which is also known as Ostwald's isolation method, and the third method is integrated rate law. Let us discuss this one by one in detail. First of all, we will discuss about the graphical method. The name itself is suggesting with the help of what? Graph. We can determine the rate of reaction. Now, very important thing, when this method is being used, graphical method is used for determining the rate of reaction when only one reactant is involved. Very important thing. When only one reactant is involved, in that case only we can make use of graphical method. When more than one reactants are involved, then we cannot use this graphical method. So when only one reactant is involved, this graphical method helps us in determining the rate of reaction. Let us consider a reaction. For example, the composition of nitrogen pentoxide gives 4 molecules of nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. You can see here, only one reactant is involved. Now, if we have to write down the rate law for this, according to rate law, the rate of reaction depends upon the concentration of reactant raised to the concentration term which is determined experimentally. So, we can write rate proportional to concentration of, this is the reactant involved, N2O5 raised to alpha, where alpha is the concentration term which is determined experimentally. Now suppose we have to check experimental data. Now suppose we find that the rate of reaction is not exactly rate of reaction. Now suppose we find that the reaction is first order. What does it mean? Alpha is equal to 1. Therefore, we can write down the rate law like this, proportional to N2O5 raised to power 1. Suppose we find that the reaction is second order, then in that case alpha will be equal to 2 and you can put down the rate law as rate proportional to N2O5 raised to power 2. Let this be experiment number 1 and let this be experiment number 2. Now from the data you can plot the graph. Just plot the graph of rate against concentration for both the experiments. Rate against concentration and see the graph. Whichever graph is linear, that is the order of reaction. Now for this reaction, if I gather the data from experiment 1, this is experiment number 1. When I plot the graph, I get this type of straight line passing through the origin. For experiment number 2, I get this type of curve. So from both this graph, I can immediately make out that this is the rate of reaction and I can say that the order of reaction is 1 and the reaction is a first order reaction. So graphical method can be used for determining the rate of reaction when only one reactant is involved, right? Now we move on to the next method of determining the rate of reaction, that is initial rate method which is popularly known as Ostwald's isolation method. The name itself is suggesting isolation means you are leaving something, right? Now, when do we use this method of determining the rate of reaction? This is used when a number of reactants are involved. See the difference from graphical method. Graphical method was used when single reactant are involved, and here we are using this method when a number of reactants are involved. Now here, right, consider a reaction having a number of reactants. Let's suppose AA plus BB plus CC gives you products. We are having here 3 reactants involved. Now, the rate of reaction is determined in this case by taking the known concentrations of A, B and C. You know what concentration of A, B and C you are taking. Now, keeping the concentration of any two constant and varying the concentration, changing the concentration of any one, you can get the rate expression with respect to that particular reactant. Let us see. I am taking in step 1, keeping concentration of B and concentration of C constant and varying means changing concentration of A gives rate law with respect to A. So what rate law I am going to get? I have kept B and C constant. Rate proportional to concentration of A raised to alpha, which is determined experimentally. Let it be equation number 1. In the next step, what I am doing, I am going to keep the next two constant, keeping concentration of A and concentration of B as constant and varying concentration of C gives rate law with respect to C. So what will be the rate law? Rate proportional to concentration of C raised to, let it be gamma. Equation number 2. In the third case, keeping concentration of A and concentration of C constant and varying concentration of B gives rate law with respect to B. So I will get rate proportional to concentration of B raised to beta. Equation number 3. Now combine these 3 equations 1, 2 and 3. On combining equation 1, 2 and 3, we get a general rate expression, rate proportional to. Here was A raised to alpha, B raised to beta, C raised to gamma. So in this way, we can determine the rate of reaction by changing the concentration of one of the reactant and keeping others constant. Now here alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to n, and that indicates what? It indicates order of reaction. It indicates order of reaction. So in this video, we have discussed two important ways of determining the rate of reaction. One was graphical method and the another was initial rate method. Just note down these assignment questions. It is very important to remember when these methods are being used. These assignment questions are basically objective type. First, name the method of determining the rate of reaction when a single reactant is involved. Next one, same way. Name the method of determining the rate of reaction when a number of reactants are involved. So now in the next video, we will discuss about the most important method of determining the rate of reaction, that is integrated rate law.